Hello, and welcome to LEGO Lovers with the Warren County Library. My name is Sandy Roberts, and I'm the Makerspace Coordinator for the library. I love Legos! Usually, I host LEGO building programs at the Makerspace at the Southwest Branch. But since things are a little different this summer, I moved my programs online instead. Now we can play with Legos together anytime, anywhere. Yay! Each week, I'm featuring the work of LEGO Masters and talking about all the amazing ways you can use Legos for art, engineering, and more. Then you can take part in fun challenges at home. This week, our theme is LEGO in 3D. For example, take a look at the work behind me. It's a flat cityscape created by LEGO artist Sean Kenney. This kind of LEGO art usually uses flat bricks on a base plate. All kinds of creations are possible. Patterns, scenes, portraits, recreations of artwork or photos, and much more. Legos like this often require some planning, especially if you're working to recreate a specific character or a scene. So you may want to use graph paper or software to help you lay out your design. Of course, you can make Lego art that's based on any pattern, like the kinds you see on tiled floors. And of course, you can create abstract pieces too, just adding pieces and creating whatever shapes you like. Okay, let's take a look at some amazing LEGO art and artists to get you started. Okay, let's talk about mosaics, because really what we're doing here is creating a mosaic out of Legos. Mosaics are any picture or repeating pattern produced by arranging small colored pieces of hard material, usually in traditional use, stone, tile, glass, and you put them together usually in like a cement base to create a piece of art. Nowadays, many folks are using Legos to create that kind of art, and there are entire companies built around the idea of making custom Lego flat two-dimensional art of photos, of corporate logos, of artwork, and there are even apps online. Like you can see, this is a picture of me actually that I used a quick piece of software. It's free called BrickoPic, which will take any photo and Legofy it for you. But we are going to look at some work made by real artists who are doing this kind of mosaic. So first up is Marco Sodano. He's an Italian artist, and he came up with the idea of using Legos in a series he called LEGO Masters. And what he did was he recreated famous works of art with Legos as a toy to make a point that every child is a true, authentic, real artist. And he used famous works and a toy to kind of put those things together to remind people that children are creative and they make real art. Okay, so here are some of his pieces. We have the Mona Lisa right here. So this is the famous work by Leonardo da Vinci, and here's his Lego version. And he did all of these, as you can see, relatively small, so they weren't overwhelming. And he really focused on the shapes and the colors that were used. And that's a really great place to start when creating this kind of artwork. Here is another famous work called Girl with a Pearl Earring. Anybody who knows this painting immediately recognizes it in the Lego because of that bright blue that just captures your eye. Here are two more surreal works, more abstract works. This is a very famous self-portrait by Vincent van Gogh. And you can see he kind of focused on the face and all those swirls of blue. You can see that he kind of changed the colors between the blues to kind of give it a little bit of that feeling that you get in the background here. This one is called Son of Man, and you can definitely sense that apple right there in the center. And I like how he even captured the red tie. Two more. This is Lady with an Ermine. By the way, an ermine is kind of like a large ferret or a mink, related to that. And you could see the use of light. Okay, you get that sense of the light is shining down on her face from this side, and he really captured that with the Legos. And then this is a famous American Gothic. And again, he's using that color really nicely. You can see kind of the shading on their faces. So these are what he kind of shared with the world and encouraged kids to go and recreate famous artwork using Lego. Next artist. You may remember from last week we talked about Sean Kenney. He is an award-winning artist. He has many traveling exhibits that go all over North America. He often likes to make big structures about animals because he's really into the natural world and into nature. And so the first couple pieces we're going to look at are from his a pop collection that he did featuring just animals and particularly insects. So here we go. Here we have a ladybug and we have a spider. And what he did with all of these is he went pretty realistic on the actual insects, and then he gave them these great like comic book pop culture bright backgrounds for each of the insects, which is really fun because, you know, kind of this non-realistic background with a very realistic bug. Here we go, another of his collection. This one is a beautiful monarch butterfly, and again you can see that cool pop background, and here again that kind of comic book sunburst with a really cool South American frog. And I love this one because of the pop of color that he really captured in there. Okay, two more actually. These are some of the portraits that he's done, and he does these on commission. So you can actually ask him to make a portrait of someone that you care about. And these are two little girls that, because I'm a mom, I really found particularly charming. And again, I just love the way that he highlights the face. You can sense where the light is. And what I love about his portraits are the eyes. I feel like the eyes on his portraits just really light up. Okay, two more. In this one, he kind of used that combination of that pop art background, okay, with a really realistic photo styled mosaic of somebody's face in Lego. And then this one, he did a whole series of black and white portraits, just showing you don't have to do bright colors just because it's Lego. You can do kind of almost, you know, antique looking art with your Legos, which I think is a really neat concept. Okay, next artist. This is Andy Bausch. Andy is actually from LA, and what I think is interesting about Andy is that he worked for Disney as a computer programmer. And he was looking for something fun to do with his hands, just because when you stare at a screen all day, he felt like it was creative, but not in the way that he really needed. So he turned to using Lego bricks to make art. And since he's very much into computers, all of his work is looking to make this kind of what we call pixelated digitization of, and he's trying to replicate that. And in fact, we'll talk more about some of his other artwork later on in this series, but he really tries to capture pop culture and art history with the ones that we're gonna look at today. So this is a famous donut shop in LA that he made a big picture of from a photo. This is actually Andy's first artwork. It's called Girl with a Hair Ribbon, and it is based on a very famous pop culture artist. So he took that that drawing and he made it into a Lego. So this was what got him started, and once he started, he kind of couldn't stop. This is a Mondrian from Pete Mondrian, a very famous abstract artist. Many Lego artists enjoy recreating his works because of the shapes that he uses fit so nicely with Legos. And these are a really great place to start, and the colors are so bright and vibrant. Notice here, you can see the lines. He used 4 base plates put together onto another larger base plate, or sometimes you'll see people, they'll glue them together or attach them to a larger board. So you don't have to feel like you have to build small. You can put multiple base plates together as you're creating. Now from here, he got into doing recreations of famous photos. So this is one of his favorite artists, and he wanted to capture that kind of pixelated, like a photo that wasn't scanned in so well kind of a look. And I think he certainly did that with the different colors that he uses. Here again, this is someone playing with black and white. This is a very famous photo taken during the Great Depression. And I like it that he uses obviously your black, whites, and grays, but then goes in with some of the browns to kind of give it a sense of age. So really fun use of color for his portraits. So they're photorealistic, but he's still playing with what that means. And here we have some of his really large works. This is actually based on a painting and is hanging in a museum in LA. So the painting is larger, it's a little wider, and it's a watercolor. I'm sorry, I should have put the name because I cannot remember what it's called at the moment. But here, he actually recreated a garden from Versailles. And this is a giant piece of artwork that he was commissioned to do for this museum. And you can see the museum? it's the same place. So this Lego is actually the courtyard that you can't quite see. And as you can see, it's a very big piece of Lego. It took a lot of time to make. So I just like kind of the scale of what he does and the detail that he adds. Okay, some tips and tricks for you. When you're starting, it helps to keep it simple. Limit the number of colors you're using, start small, try a simple design. So you can make a template. You can actually use templates that others have made to get you started. And in the packet for this week, I'm going to give you a couple of websites where you can download templates to kind of start out with. These are done by another awesome artist called Jen Smart. She's a mom, but she started making Legos with her son when he was about 3 years old, and she needs to be home after having a surgery, and they started building Legos together. And these are some of her Minecraft creations. Here we have Star Wars that she did, and my personal favorite, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So again, these are some examples of very simple ones that she and her son did together based on favorite characters. And I love the little bow tie here for the Stormtrooper. Another trick is to start with something that you already love, like a favorite character from a favorite cover or favorite character from a book or a comic or a DVD or a game or a musical album. You can use graph paper and colored pencils to help you lay out your design, and that will really help. This, as you can see, is Harry Potter, and you can see that's got a lot of detail to it. Here are some other favorites. This is Wolverine from the DC Comics, and you can see it. Great color here. I'm sorry, Marvel. Great color here. And then these are all Disney princesses that she did for her daughter, which are really, really lovely. I love the hair on Merida here. That is just fantastic. And I love Elsa's eyes. And here is Jen with her most recent creation, a life-size standing, self-standing Wonder Woman statue that she made. And if you watch an interview with her, and I'll again include that in the packet, you'll see that she actually uses software for her more complex creations. So some software to make mosaics for Legos that you can use are Pick2Brick, Photobricks, and Brick-Azier. Anyway, so you can try out these and you can upload photos or pictures, and it will help you figure out how to create your mosaic from your design. All right, so that's the basics. Okay, I have to take 1 second and recognize my very favorite Lego artist. His name is Tom, and he was one of my Treps a couple years ago. Now, Treps are young entrepreneurs who start their own businesses even though they're only in grades 4 through 8. It's pretty amazing stuff. So, Tom, his business was making Lego flat art sculptures, just like the ones we've looked at today. I bought several, including one to commemorate Valentine's Day with my husband, which featured Space Invader characters. It was awesome. Wow. That was some amazing artwork. Now it's your turn. Think of a character, a scene, artwork, maybe a cover of a book or an album. I don't know. Whatever it is that you would like to recreate with Legos. It doesn't have to be as detailed or complicated as the pieces that we've seen today. It's okay to start small and learn as you go. Whatever you create, take a few pictures and share them. We'd love to see your work. You can share your creations using the hashtag #WarrenLib, so that we can see the amazing things that you make. Of course, if you registered for Lego Lovers with an email, you'll be able to join our special online classroom where you can share your work and see the work of others. Plus, I'll send you a newsletter filled with other fun things that you can do. Didn't register? Send me an email at sroberts@warrenlib.org, and I'll make sure you get an invite. If you don't want to be part of the classroom, that's okay too. All right. That's it for the week. I'm Sandy Roberts, and I'm so glad that you stopped by. Be sure to invite your friends to join us online so we can build together with the Warren County Library System. Okay, I'll see you next week for more Lego fun.